Hello, children. I am from Career Vision Academy. My name is Dheeraj Gupta, and today we are going to study an important topic of maths of class 10th, and that is linear equations in two variables. Okay, linear equations in two variables, right? All of you must be knowing about linear equations. So linear equations in two variables. Okay, this is the third chapter of your syllabus. Now, first let us understand what linear means. Linear, like you can say, it's line. From line, it is linear. That is, we already have studied about algebraic expressions. Okay, and algebraic expressions में you must have heard about expressions या polynomials in degree 1. Degree 1 means if I write an equation 2x plus 3 is equal to 0. You can see it has equal to sign. So this is an equation and it is linear. You know why? Because here the variable is x and the maximum power of the variable is 1. So this is of degree 1, hence this is a linear equation. Now this is an equation, as you know, it has equal to sign. When you compare two algebraic expressions with equal to sign, you get an equation. In two variables, now this is an equation, of course. This is an equation, but this is an equation in one variable, you can see. Okay, this is an equation in one variable. Right? Now, we are going to talk here linear equations in two variables. Variables, you understand? Variables are like their value varies from question to question or situation to situation, and in variables we generally take English alphabets like A, B, X, Y. We take variables like this. When we talk about linear equation in two variables, if I write the same above equation as 2x plus 3y is equal to 0. Again, this is an equation, it is very clear to all of you. But again we see there are two terms, 2x and 3y. Here you can see the maximum power of x is 1, here also y ki maximum power is 1. So both the variables are linear. They are in degree 1. Hence this is a linear equation in two variables. Okay. When we talk about the general form of linear equations in two variables, we get ax plus by plus c is equal to 0, where x and y are variables, a, b, c are real numbers, and in this a is not equal to 0, b is not equal to 0. It must be clear to you. If a or b is 0, it won't be a linear equation in two variables. So we can see here that this is the general form of linear equation in two variables, right? Again, if I come back to our equation in one variables, okay, if I have to solve this, we can get the value of x through this equation. X is equal to minus 3 upon 2. You will get the value of x. So if you have an equation in one variable, you need only one equation to get the value of that variable. Okay, but when we have to find out the value of two variables, like equation two variables, we need at least two equations. So if I take one equation as a1x plus b1y plus c1 is equal to 0, and the other equation in the general form we can have a2x plus b2y plus C2 is equal to 0. Now these are the two equations I have taken to solve a linear equation. To solve a linear equation in two variables, as you know, a linear equation in two variables, if you represent it on the graph, it forms a straight line. The topic has been studied by you in class 9th also. It forms a straight line. So if I am having two linear equations, I'll get one straight line from this equation and one from this equation, right? We have to find out the value of the variables, or if we have to solve these two equations. To solve these two equations means to find out the value of the variables. There are two methods to do that. Okay? One is your geometrical method, okay, and the second one is your algebraic method, right? If we have to solve a linear equation in two variables, we have these two methods, right? Now, how to get the values by geometrical method or graphical method? We say, as I told you, that if you have a linear equation in two variables, with that you get a straight line if you plot a graph, and that graph can be plotted by taking its solutions. If you find out the solution, for example, if I take an equation, say if I take an equation 2x plus 3y is equal to 5. Okay, this is a linear equation in two variables. To plot this in the graph, we have to get the solutions. Solutions means you have to know the points which lie on that line. So I can write this as 3y is equal to 5 minus 2x, or y is equal to 5 minus 2x upon 3. If you remember, we can get the values of x and y. X, y, you can see here. If I put the value of x as 1, if I put the value of x as 1 in this, so it will be 5 into 2, 5 minus 2 into 1 upon 3, which is 3 upon 3. What do you get the value of y as? You get the value of y as 1, right? We will try to take the points so that we get the values of x and y in whole numbers, so that it is easy to plot in the graph. Again, what shall I take the value of x again as, so that I may get the value of y in whole numbers? We can take any values. You can take the value of x in the, as any of the integers, negative, positive, okay? So if I take, say, minus 2, minus 2, if you put in place of x, so it will be 5 minus 2 into minus 2, that will be 5 plus 4 upon 3, 9 upon 3, and you will get the value of y as 3. Although when you get these 2 points, we can form a line by joining these 2 lines also, these 2 points also. But if we find out 3 points, you get a sure certain line. That means if you have done any mistake anywhere in finding out and solving and finding out these points, you won't get a straight line if you take 3 points. And in 2 points, if you have done mistake anywhere, you know that with 2 points you can get a line. So if you have done a mistake in solving any of these points, you still will get a straight line and you won't be able to find out whether you have done a mistake or not. But if we take 3 points, that will make you sure and certain that you have taken correct points, right? So now what can we do in this? We can take some other values of x, and so this can be you can take 7, suppose. So if you take 7, it will be 5 minus 2 into 7, 5 minus 14 will be minus 9, and so it will be minus 3. We all know how to plot the points on the graph. When you plot the point on the graph, you will get a line. Okay, with this one equation you will get one straight line, and if you have another equation you will get another straight line with that. Okay, now graphically, if we have to solve the linear equations, how can we solve the linear equation graphically? So by graphical method there can be three situations: graphical or geometrical method. Geometrical method. The first case, when we have two straight lines, when we have two linear equations in two variables, the first case can be the lines can be intersecting lines. That means both the lines will intersect at a point. These are intersecting lines. Intersecting lines, or we say unique solution. What do you mean by unique solution? Unique solution, that means you have one solution of these equations. Okay. One solution means since the lines are intersecting, they will intersect at one point, and this point where they are intersecting is the common point on both the lines. And since this is the common point, that means this lies on both the lines. So this point will be the solution of these two equations. Now if I take the coordinates of this, say this is 1, and say if this is 3, the coordinates will be 1, 3. That means in this case, if you have to find out the values of the variables x and y, your solution will be x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 3, because this is the point which is satisfying both the lines. And so these intersecting lines means unique solution. Okay. Second thing, the second case which can be there, that is two lines can be parallel to each other. Two lines can be parallel to each other. That means we say parallel lines. Parallel lines, or since we know that parallel lines, they never meet, as the distance between those two lines is same throughout, they won't meet anywhere. So that means if they are not meeting anywhere, they have no solution. So we have no solution. No solution means they won't intersect any point. So these two lines, they have no solution. And the third case is okay, this is y, this is y dash, x dash. Now with one equation I got this line, and with the other equation I get another line. That means these two lines are coincident, or they overlap each other. These are called coincident lines, or since they are common at every point, so that means it has infinitely many solutions. infinitely many solutions, right? Because they are common at every point, so they have infinitely many solutions. Okay, now as we talked about the general form of linear equations, we took two equations, and one was a1x plus b1y plus c1 is equal to 0, and the second one was a2x plus b2y plus c2 is equal to 0. Okay, in case of parallel lines, or rather we can start with the unique solution or intersecting lines. For intersecting lines, or unique solution, we have a1 upon a2 is not equal to b1 upon b2. This is the condition. So if suppose I have two equations, say 2x plus 7y is equal to 9, and I have 3x plus y is equal to 7. You can see here, if I find out a1 and a2, in this case a1 upon a2 is equal to 2 upon 3, and b1 upon b2 is equal to 7 upon 1, right? So clearly we can see here, that therefore a1 upon a2 is not equal to b1 upon b2. Therefore we say the lines are intersecting lines. So we say the lines are intersecting. Okay, or the converse of this, if it is given to you that the lines are intersecting, that means a1 upon a2 is not equal to b1 upon b2. And the second case, when we come to parallel lines, second was our parallel lines or no solution. In this, a1 upon a2 will be equal to b1 upon b2 will be not equal to c1 upon c2. This is the condition. That means a1 upon a2 is equal to b1 upon b2 is not equal to c1 upon c2. This is the situation where the lines are parallel, or we say they have no solution. And third case which we studied, third was coincident lines. Coincident lines or infinitely many solutions. Okay, infinitely many solutions. As I told you that both the lines are coincident, so there are unlimited points which are common to these lines, and since they are unlimited points common, so we say they have infinitely many solutions. And in this case we have a1 upon a2 is equal to b1 upon b2 is equal to c1 upon c2. Okay, so these are the three conditions on this. And as we see here, the intersecting lines, since they have a solution, they have a unique solution, these are inconsistent. These are, I should say, sorry, these are consistent. And now no solution, these are inconsistent as they have no solution. Inconsistent. Again, the third case is your infinitely many solutions. We have a solution, but we have infinite solution. Again, these are also consistent. So in case consistent case we have two cases in which the lines are consistent, and those are intersecting lines and coincident lines. In case of parallel lines, we have no solution and they are inconsistent. Okay. So this was the method, your graphical or geometrical method, in which we have two equations. We plot those equations on the graph paper, right? With the graph paper, if the lines are intersecting, the point where they are intersecting is the solution of those two equations. We find out the coordinates of those points. The x coordinate will represent the value of x and the y coordinate will represent the value of y. Okay, as we discussed, right? This is the y-axis, y dash, x dash. So if you have two straight lines, the point where they are intersecting, this is the solution. And the coordinates which we find out, say if this is 2 and here we have 3, the coordinates will be 2, 3. So this is the solution. That means x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 3 is the solution of these two equations. Okay, this is how we find out graphically. The next method through which we get the values of x and y. The next method, one was the geometrical method, and now when we come to the second method, that is algebraic method of finding the solution of linear equation in two variables. In algebraic method, we have first substitution method, second is our elimination method, and the third one is cross multiplication. Method. Coming back to the first one, what is substitution? Now, substitution method. Very simple method. The name itself suggests what the method is. I am taking two simple linear equations in two variables, x plus y is equal to 5, and the other one 2x plus 5y is equal to 7. This is our first equation and this is our second equation. How to get the values of x and y through this method? What we do is we take any one of the equations, right? Any one of the equations. Say I'm taking equation 1. We get the value of one variable in terms of other variable. So if the first equation is x plus y is equal to 5, now I am getting the value of y in terms of x. So y will be equal to 5 minus x. You can make it third equation. Now with equation 1, I have formed an equation, third equation, in which I have got the value of y in terms of x. Now getting the value of y in terms of x, we got y is equal to 5 minus x. Now the word substitution comes in use. Here I will be writing, what do you mean by substitute? Substitute matlab replacing that value. So substituting the value of y in equation 2. That means I am placing the value of y in equation 2, right? So substitute matlab you are changing that. So in second equation 2x plus It is 5y, that means 5 into y. Now in place of y I will write 5 minus x is equal to 7. Now you can see here, if I open this bracket, 25 minus 5x is equal to 7. You can see that I have got a linear equation in one variable now. 3x is equal to 7 minus 25. So minus 3x is equal to minus 18. Right? Here I can get the value of x now. Now x will be equal to minus 18 divided by minus 3. X is equal to 6. Got the value of x. Now what? We have to get the value of y. Coming back to our equation, you see y is equal to 5 minus x. Now since we have got the value of x, when we place the value of x in this third equation, can we get the value of y? Yes, we can get the value. So now here what you'll do, putting x is equal to 6 in equation 3. We have y is equal to 5 minus 6. Y is equal to minus 1. We get the value of y as minus 1. So now this is your answer. We have got the value of x and y. We have found out the value of the variables. So x is equal to 6, y is equal to minus 1. This is your answer. Right? Coming back to our substitution method again, let us see. And what did we do in substitution method? We had two equations, two linear equations and two variables. We took one of the equations, found the value of one variable in terms of other variable. Okay, now when we got the value of one variable in terms of another variable, we substituted the value of this variable in the second equation. Now you have to remember one thing. When you have found out the value of one variable in terms of another with the first equation, you will now replace the value, or you will substitute the value of that variable in the second equation now. So you will be substituting the value in the other equation, that is other than the equation from which you got the value of one variable in terms of another. So I substituted it in equation 2. When I substituted it in equation 2, you can see here that I got a linear equation in one variable. Now I can see that in this equation I have only one variable, that is x. So easily I can get the value of x. So I got the value of x as 6. Right? From the first equation, I already found out the value of one variable in terms of another. Now since I have got the value of x, I'll replace it in the third equation. When I replace the value of x in the third equation here, I got the value of y. And this is how the equations got solved, by substitution method. Okay. This was the substitution method, and now I would like you all to practice some questions related to this. We are just considering about those equations where in the question the equations are given to you. Now after we know all the methods by which we can find out the values of the variables in linear equation 2 variables, we will be discussing about the word problems, the daily situations on which on the linear equations two variables, right? And there we will study how to form an equation first. Once we know how to form an equation, already we have understood how to get the values of the variables through any of the methods, we can easily get the variables. So this was the first method in algebraic method. The second method is your elimination method. Elimination method. Again, as we did in the first part, substitution method, the name only suggested what do you mean by substitution. Now elimination is, again, this is another method. The name will itself tell you what you have to do in these two equations. If I take an equation x plus y, again I will be taking the equations simple one, and 2x plus 5y is equal to 7. These are the two equations I am taking. Okay, and let me remove this 2 also, so that I may explain you some simple part first. After that I'll explain you with some difficult part or some different. Now, what shall I do in elimination method to get the value of the variables? Eliminate means what? To remove. Eliminate means to remove. Now there are two equations, as we can see here. I want to eliminate x. I want to remove x. If you remove x somehow from both the equations, you will get the value of y. But how to remove? Remove doesn't mean that you just erase from there. We can remove it by either subtracting or adding. I can see here in the first equation we have x with coefficient 1. In the second equation also I have x with coefficient 1. I can very well see if I subtract the equations, x can be eliminated. Let me see that. Subtracting equation 1 from equation 2. Now there is one more thing which you have to remember. There must be a question arising in your mind, and that is it that we have to subtract equation 1 from equation 2 only? You can do anyways. Either you can subtract equation 2 from 1 or 1 from 2. It won't matter. Now if I will subtract, how to subtract that? X plus y is equal to 5. Below that, this is the first equation. I am subtracting equation 1 from equation 2. So here I have to take second equation, and here I'll have to take the second equation first. Below that I will be writing the first equation, and that is this. Leave some space, draw a line, change the sign as we are subtracting. This is positive, we'll make it minus, negative. This is again negative, this is again negative. We can see now this x and minus x will get eliminated. What do you get here? You get 5y. Now minus y, we won't consider this sign, you will consider this sign now. 5y minus y, that is 4y is equal to 7 minus 5 is 2. Y is equal to 2 upon 4. So we get y is equal to 1 upon 2. We got the value of y. So what did we do here? What did we do here? We subtracted equation 1 from equation 2. Why did we subtract? So that we may eliminate x. Now x can be eliminated. Why it can be eliminated like this? Because both the equations have the same coefficient of x, so they can be subtracted easily. I got the value of y. Now how to get the value of x? We have already got two equations. Now I can put this value of y in equation 1 or 2, any of them. I am putting it in 1. Putting y is equal to 1 upon 2 in equation 1. We have x plus, now in place of y I am putting 1 upon 2 is equal to 5. Again, this is a linear equation and one variable, as you can see now, you can get the value of x easily. X is equal to 5 minus 1 upon 2. I hope the simplification part is easy to all of you. On 2, and so we get the value of x as 9 upon 2 or 4 whole 1 upon 2. So this is the value of x we got. This is the value of y. Right? This is your elimination method. Now in the answer you can get, therefore x is equal to 4 whole 1 upon 2, y is equal to 1 upon 2, and this is your answer.